When we talk about diversity, I go back to our Vedic dictum, which is Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahubadanti. From a gender perspective, we have always respected our Matra Shakti, and we are therefore going back to that kind of a system. Going digital is not an option because today there is a focus on efficiency, on delivery, and speed of a delivery. What we are today talking about is a well defined subject. And likewise, I'm here to assure you that as a civilization, we have practiced all what we are talking so far. It is part of our DNA. In fact, when we talk about diversity, I go back to our Vedic dictum, which is Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahubadanti, in the sense that any decision, any community there has got to be a consensus and debate in whatever we are doing, and therefore I kind of split this diversity portion into two compartments. One is gender based, the compartment, and other is the technology, the artificial intelligence, the process, and everything. And why are these two compartments important? Because in humankind, from our civilizational perspective, we have never had gender-based inequalities other than a short period of time. If you go back to times immemorial, you will find that the women were as important as the men in every scheme of things, be it the panchayat, be it warfare, be it trade, be it even the matrilineal societies. So it comes nothing of a shock to us, and I tell my Western counterparts that, guys, don't teach us gender diversity, because this is something that we have been practicing for a very, very long time. And in basis itself, we always had opportunities where 99% of our managers were women, and about at any point of time 38 to 42% of the workforce is made up of women, and that too comprising of the middle-aged workforce, what we call as second inning. So we have had that diversity right from the bottom of the pyramid. While we are talking all this, I also want to assure you that we are going where we were, in the sense that if you went back to 0 CE, we were 49% of the global trade. And then you know the history where we came down, and we are marching up. So what I would say is, let's look behind to see forward. Because there are enough empirical evidences, there is enough empirical knowledge systems that allows us to see what is coming ahead. I would say that a lot of gender diversity is also is as a result of government regulations. If you look at the government itself today, the viewpoint is Mahila, Yuva, and Garib. So that is the new strata of the society. So it comes from there, and eventually our board representation also came as a result of the LODR regulations. And I want to assure you that we are in good space. If you compare our board composition made up of women, it is at par with what Asia is seeing. When you look at the statistics, you will see that Europe and America has far higher percentage of women, but don't go into that statistic purely, because there is a shrinking labor force. And because of shrinking labor force, you will necessarily see some population getting an extra exposure. Ours is not that situation. We have a 50-50 between men and women. So from economic growth perspective, we are returning back to where we should be over the years. from a gender perspective, we have always respected our Matra Shakti, and we are therefore going back to that kind of a system. As a society, we have always believed in vichar, vimash, debate, samvad, and we are going back to that. And all these kind of filters into the boardrooms, uh, and therefore one of the things I've always felt, and this is also a result of the fact that my wife is also a director on the board. What we must be mindful is we should not have a woman director just for the sake of compliance. There are skills that they bring along to the table, and we should be able to see it from that perspective. Uh, a gender requirement from a compliance perspective is de minimis, but that should not be the limiting factor. As long as we can run companies based on consensus, based on debates, based on discussions at board level, because this is what ultimately auto filters down to each and every person in the company. uh, we should be fine with it, and therefore let's look at the intent of the regulations. And we must thank that our governments have always moved ahead on all these matters, be it a 33% reservation in the parliament, be it women only constituencies, be it reservations in different kind of organizations. So the private sector is taking benefit of that lead made by the government. So as I finish the section on gender diversification, I am coming to the point of diversification in the boardroom between AI and digital. Going digital is not an option. Going digital is very important because today there is a focus on efficiency, on delivery, and speed of a delivery. Therefore, every business, whether we like it or not, is going the digital way. And again, here, the government has been very focused on affording public services that are today a large, for large part digital. I mean, right from the birth and death certificates to, your encumbrances certificates. Today, everything is going digital, and that has improved the service delivery. So it comes as no surprise that corporates must use digital modes of collaboration, communication, working, and efficiencies. That is what the markets will appreciate. That is what the consumers will appreciate. Therefore, at the board level, uh, it's not just finance guys, it's not just human resources, it is communication experts, it is technologists, it is people who can convey the message. And as the recent Indigo, the situation that panned out, the independent directors had to come as spokesperson for the company and talk about what was going on, and that is de minimis, that is expected today. What we are also seeing at board level is a version of the hyperscale that happens at government level. So what I'm trying to tell you is that today going digital is consumer driven, is regulator driven, is policy driven, is government driven, and therefore I don't think we at the board level have any option but to include these kind of people at board level, so that we do not discuss in the boards that, hey, I don't understand technology. I mean, that option is no longer available to us. Likewise is the use of AI, and Kulseshtaji rightly pointed out and talked about a court case where the AI came out with a fictitious result. But be that it may be, we are going into a future where the basic data, the basic analytical help is going to come from artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is nothing, there's nothing artificial about it. It is all created by humans. The data sets are created by humans. The LLMs are created by humans, and more energies, more and more efforts are going into creation of artificial intelligence. At the board level, therefore, we must have an understanding. We don't have to be an expert, but we must have an understanding of the impact of artificial intelligence, how it can impact our way of working, how it can help. It is a wave that you cannot expect to miss. We must be enabled, we must be ready, we must be mentally open to ride that wave. I don't think there is any escape route. uh, Once we have diversified our skill sets in the board, at the end of the day, the future is a future of no employment. The future is of skills. The focus will not be on the number of headcounts that you have in the company. The focus will be on the number of skill sets that you will have in the company. And therefore, decision making has become very complicated. It is very intricate. It has many facets and angles to it. There are multiple of variables that are at work, and therefore you must have experts that can contribute to each part of this complex situation, so that we take holistic decisions. And while I generally speak of this from an IT sector, and also my involvement with the farming sector, the same holds true for other sectors as well, where multi skill, multi domain expertise is needed at the board level, and therefore diversification of skills are therefore must. And from times immemorial, from the Vedic times to what I said my opening remarks to now, that the path to truth may be the same, but we have to think of different ways to get there, and that is only possible when you have diversity in thought, diversity in mindset, diversity in domain, and yet working with a unison of purpose.